All right, and we're live. The Sniper Show. Okay, about the inconvenience here. His computer did crash, as a matter of fact. But nevertheless, we're good. Are you there?
Yep.
All right, so we still got James here. So welcome him. He's
I did.
first time guest on here. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is James. I actually met these guys on DayZ. Pretty good group to game with. And we got to get Kenneth a computer that's not from Goodwill, so that this doesn't happen again.
All right. So our last podcast was pretty good, and I hope to bring the same. So as you guys can see on the bottom right of the stream, we have a sponsor. It's not really a sponsor. I just really want to help them out. I really appreciate everything they do, and that is him leaving. That is the Humble Bundle. I love these guys a lot, and they're just amazing. So the story behind the Humble Bundle is I recently bought some games from them, and I don't know what happened with the purchase or what's going on, but I guess like I donated too much, and then I messaged them and I was like, hey, I had some troubles with the donating and purchasing of some games on the Humble Bundle. Can you help me out? And I was a little frustrated. I was kind of like, well, there goes like 20 bucks or whatever. But it was all good. I realized it was for a good cause and everything. And they offered to refund me my money back, but I did not take the offer. So if you guys do not know what the Humble Bundle is, it's like a charity type deal. You're familiar with it, James?
Yes, I am.
All right. So they're a really cool group of people, and I would check them out if you're interested in like PC gaming or donating. But anyways, into the topics. So I had a couple topics lined up, and Google is buying Twitch, supposedly. There are rumors going on about that. I don't know all the details. You ever heard anything about that?
I have. I think that it's going to be a really advantageous thing for Twitch because of Chromecast and how quick it's getting popularity. But I know that Google wants to start enhancing a lot of their accessories like the Google Watch so that you can just sit there and watch any of your Twitch videos right then and there. So I think the accessibility of Google might be a good thing for Twitch.
Indeed. So I'm looking on CNN right now, and it talks a lot about YouTube and Twitch, and how that goes. And so that's going to be interesting. A lot of YouTubers do live stream, and so to have them, buy Twitch is kind of a big deal for some of the other people. And I think we're going to try and get the law back in here. Or, but yeah, I'm really excited for that. Oh, there we go. We got the law here. All right.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome, Law.
Introduce
This is why we don't build our computers out of balsa wood.
yourself. What do you have to say for yourself?
My computer's a piece of shit. That's what I gotta say.
All right. So we were talking about Google buying Twitch. Any thoughts
It
on that?
is?
It is. It is.
Can't Google keep his hands off of one? Let's fucking have everything.
Yeah. So does YouTube try to get involved with everything? Because it seems like they're trying to like control everything. And YouTube is always changing their layouts, and sometimes their sub box doesn't work, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But for some reason, I don't know.
Yeah, I always feel like they're always changing shit up, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Didn't I do this, and this before? Did uploaded video, and now you just, it's just weird.
Well, I think YouTube and Google in its own rights are going to be very appealing for sponsors like Pepsi and Old Spice and a lot of the corporations like that, but also for the people who want a reliable video sharing service. You know, some place where you know you can get subs easy, you know you can get a lot of FaceTime, you know you could do your viral
Yeah.
marketing. And I have to say that YouTube, compared to the complexity of what they do, I think they handle it really well. And I think Google does as well. So if they want to be like Disney and buy everything out, I would not have a problem with that.
Makes sense. Plus, it's not like Google's going out buying like pieces of shit, like where they don't get their money back if they do get sponsors. I mean, they're not going out buying like some randy hardware store or some shit like that. Just like
So basically, they're not.
they're investing it in something good.
Yeah,
They're
they're
not doing something
basically
stupid.
not investing in the same technology that your computer's built out
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, basically, Acer. It was. Yeah.
We better censor that out. We don't want people knowing that you have an Acer. No, but I agree with you. I'm excited because Google has always invested in really innovative and logical technologies. In fact, I think if space exploration ever takes the course of EVE Online, where there's just corporations in space, I honestly do see
Google.
giants that operate like Google making their first mark. I mean, Google already has a lot of sciences and satellite technology with all their GPS systems.
Google already made a car that drives with no one in it. Like, it can drive on its own. So.
And it takes pictures of the streets so that when you're in Google Maps, you get a 3D view. So if you ever really want to know what the Coliseum looks like from a road view, you can just go to Google Maps and look at the car drive-bys and get a really good idea of what these landmarks look like.
While you're there, grab yourself some Pepsi. Always comes in handy.
I don't know. I'm not much of a Pepsi guy.
So that brings up the next
Not much
topic.
of a soda.
Pepsi versus Coke.
I'm not a Coke guy either.
I don't
I like
drink soda.
I like the 7-Up company. I like Dr. Pepper. That's my poison.
The law.
I don't drink soda. I don't have anything to say about it. When I did drink Dr. Pepper a lot, but I don't drink soda anymore, so
So I'm
I don't
thinking
really like.
a lot more of the Pepsi.
Wait,
Coke
isn't,
Coke has too much sugar.
I will agree to that because I'll go to a
Coca-Cola
Pepsi machine
products-
over a Coke machine.
Are we going? Okay, are we talking about Coca-Cola versus Pepsi, or Coca-Cola products or Pepsi products? Because there's like different sodas, like Dr. Pepper, Coca-Cola, and shit like that.
Coke versus Pepsi.
Okay, so
Well, if you want to go by that, if we're looking at like the biggest impact they have, look at Santa Claus in his red suit. That really did not become popular until Coke started advertising Santa Claus. Before then, he looked like a Russian guy in a green jacket.
yeah.
Subliminal messages.
He's like, "Ah, yeah, kids, enjoy the toys." I don't know why I make him sound like Dracula, but he's like, Merry Christmas."
Yeah. All right. Your topic.
Ouch.
So competitive MLG games. League of Legends, Dota,
Esports.
Call of Duty, esports. Opinions?
Esports. I think they're gonna be the new thing. A lot like this next generation. They basically live off technology and the internet, and there's just gonna be a lot more computers and less activity, I think, more than outside than in their rooms.
I agree with that, but I think the problem we face now is an oversaturation in the MLG market. I know back in 98 and 99 and 2000, it was all about regular Counter-Strike and StarCraft, and you had such a huge following for each of those games, like internationally. I mean, there's still a huge following for League, but you could get into the MLG market and just be interested in Call of Duty and never ever watch a League game at all.
I'm honestly, I don't think Call of Duty should be considered an MLG because it's one of the easiest games I've ever played in my life.
I know. You don't even have any strategy to it. You're running around with dual shotguns, dolphin diving, and
yeah, there's no way you can
you just spawn and pull the trigger and you'll kill somebody.
Yeah, there's no way you to jump off a damn building and 360 no scope a freaking noob or some brony with a damn big ass sniper with all that 100-pound gear on, all that ammo, all the grenades and shit. No, it's not. It's one of the dumbest games I've probably ever played.
But I think one of the successful things about Call of Duty, and I've noticed this especially after I graduated high school, is it seems to bridge the gap between nerds and jocks, because it seems like there's a healthy amount of jocks and a healthy amount of nerds that play together and have fun together and join their own respective clans. And you don't really see that in too many FPSs. Battlefield maybe, but a lot of people complained about Battlefield 3, and I like Battlefield 3.
I love Battlefield 3. I hated Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
But I don't think Battlefield 3 is not good for clans, because it's too big of like a team to have just a clan play together.
True,
and clans should be like 5 to 8 at max.
And their team deathmatch is just horrid.
Yeah.
And I think the problem with Battlefield is the maps are so large and the games take so long that in a championship setting it almost doesn't make sense.
All I ever play is Rush. All I ever play. That's
but I also, the reason why I don't like Call of Duty is out of all the FPS games, it seems like that's the game where everybody gets stuck on one map. Oh, 24/7 Nuketown. And it's like, Nuketown's not even the best map. I know everybody loves it.
It's the shittiest map ever. All you have to do, wait 4 seconds.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Did he just...
I can't even believe that he plays Call of Duty now, because his computer can't even...
No, he plays it on his Xbox
Chrome
360.
just exited itself out because it's a hooker. Okay.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Google's like, oh, Kenneth, you do not respect me as a corporation and you fear my hostile takeover of the market? Well, you don't get to use my services.
Good for them.
You're done.
Right. They're probably listening in on this right now.
Hey, Google. Obamacare sucks.
Why would they care about that? The guys at Google are like, guess what? We programmed an app that fully supports our political backing behind Obamacare.
Tell me this. Tell me this is a good idea for an app. All right. So, okay, you know how they have like the iFruit app for Grand Theft Auto? What if they add something into that called GTA Radio, where it gives you like each radio station from Grand Theft Auto 5, and you get like the songs from each radio station. So like when you're driving or something, you can listen to your favorite station from GTA.
You know, I would love that if you could bring back some of the like classics too. Like, come on, GTA 3.
Oh yeah.
Or
like
Giggle Cream. You remember Giggle Cream?
No, the only ones I've ever played was GTA 4 and 5 because.
Oh, Vice City and 3. I don't remember which one Giggle Cream is.
Oh, I played
it's like
Vice City for
it's
like
a cocaine-based cream.
Yeah.
But it's so funny listening to the song.
The da 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 da.
Da 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 da.
The OG. Snoop Dogg.
All right. So, right. Destiny beta. So a lot of people are buying. See, here's the thing. Destiny beta. In order for you being eligible to play the actual Destiny beta, you have to buy the game before it comes out.
Yeah, you have to pre-order the game.
So how does that work? Because your Battlefield, right, says, you know what? How about we just give you the beta, and then if you like the beta, you can buy the game. And you know, Call of Duty's like, who needs a beta? You know,
yeah, Call of Duty's like, I know people love my game.
And then
4-year-olds, man.
That's because they don't change anything in Call of Duty. It's the same shit, just wrapped in a different aluminum packaging.
Yep. So Battlefield Hardline, right? They're like, here's the beta. You know, it's open for like 2 weeks or whatever.
Oh, piece of shit. Okay, I was like 450th in queue. I never got a fucking key for Battlefield Hardline beta.
I got 2.
So everyone here. You got 2?
Yeah, I got 2 or 3. I loved the game.
What the fuck?
I thought Visceral did very well with the Battlefield engine. And I think it offers a really good blend between Counter-Strike and Battlefield. Yeah. But all the healthy elements of Call of Duty are also in Hardline. And I think it's a really nice balance. Now, I've heard people complain about the game when they're like, you know, everybody camps your money and stuff like that. Well, I actually like that because every campaign mode, you have multiple ways of winning. It's not just one strategy to win.
Yeah. So
I don't know to play, so I have nothing to say about that.
I want to play Destiny beta, but I don't want to buy it for the beta.
Yeah, you have to pay like $20 just for the fucking beta, and then you get the game. And like, what if I don't like the beta?
Yeah, so you're buying a game not knowing how it's going to turn out.
That is true,
So,
but the advantage of doing it that way is with the way that Battlefield does it, they have a wider amount of people who participate in the beta to hard
Mhm.
test it. But the problem is sometimes when you have too many and your servers aren't made for it, people get the assumption that the game is crap when it's just the beta's having problems. The other advantage of having people
It's a
pay
beta.
to participate in the beta is that you will have money and resources to
To
hotfix
allow
things on
people
the
to
fly.
get on the
Right.
servers. Yeah.
Because I graduated with a bachelor's in game design, and I can tell you one of the biggest things that's the most important is project management. The project managers will be all on your butt, and once they spend the money that's been allotted to them for the project, that's it. So if there's nothing left over to improve the game, then you're pretty much hanging yourself in a noose. So I would almost feel, since I know Bungie, I know Marathon, I know Halo, they were all really good games. The Halo 3 beta was the same way. You know, if you bought Halo 3, you got to participate in the beta way earlier than anybody. But at the same time, when Halo 3 released, the game was pretty stable multiplayer. Their lobby was
Mhm.
garbage, but it was still a pretty stable game, and I do appreciate that. And it seems like with Battlefield, every release, it's kind of a pot shoot, because in BFBC 2, I was locked out of the multiplayer for 2 weeks after I bought it, and then in Battlefield 3, the entire matchmaking system was garbage for the first month or so. It was like, wow, you guys did not allot yourself any money to fix this.
yeah, but I don't want to invest. You're investing money in a
Dane, what you
stock
should
that you're
do.
not sure is going to like work. Like Bungie has a great reputation for things, and I love the Halo series when I had my Xbox, and I don't have anything against Bungie, but again, you're putting your money in a
Do you
stock.
know anyone that bought the pre-ordered it?
I don't.
Do you, I
I
do.
actually,
And
I do. I know a couple people online that have pre-ordered it, but I haven't talked to them about it.
okay, well, Parker, this little rich kid that gets anything he wants, he got an Xbox One from for no reason actually, just because. And so then he goes off complaining on how all the Xbox One games are bad and how it's probably like the worst money he spent on for the games. I'm like, okay, so then can I have your Xbox One? Like, okay. And he's like, no, it's mine. I'm like, okay. So then he pre-orders. He's like, I'm gonna get Destiny. He's like, I'm like, are you sure you're not gonna bitch about it? He's like, no, I'm gonna like it. He pre-orders it, and he calls me back like an hour later. He's like, this is the worst game I've ever played in my life. I'm like, I'm done, and I just
Yeah,
hung
but
up. I'm like,
I mean,
are you
what
kidding me? Like,
what kind of bull is that to play a game for an hour and then
you
go,
can't judge
this
a
is
game
garbage?
based off an hour,
Yeah.
and
Like
it's a
if that were the
beta. So
case, Mass Effect 3 was the best game in the world because the first hour of Mass Effect 3 was amazing. It was the last hour of Mass Effect 3 that made it a
Yeah,
steaming pile.
when you went in on that mothership and just started like taking everyone and like what the
Hey, guess what? We destroyed all the Mass
bleh.
Effect gates, which makes it impossible for a continuation of the series. So thank you for the
Yeah.
$180 and have a nice life. I was like, what is this, Valve? Is this like the number 3 curse?
Oh my God, aren't they making a Left 4 Dead 3?
I hope so,
Are
but
they?
That's what I heard.
I'm excited for
Uh,
Destiny. I think it brings a lot of like
I don't know. I'm
Gears
still
of
on the
War
verge.
mechanics,
I'm on the
Borderlands
verge.
mechanics.
Yeah, I'm on the verge from getting it for my Xbox 360 or just not getting it at all. Because if
And
I'm
the
gonna
other
get it, I'm gonna get it on console,
right,
not my PC.
the thing that I always look at is how many hours of enjoyment will you get out of it.
Exactly, and if it has replay value, like Borderlands, if you really like the game, there's replay value. But if you didn't like it, there's hell no way you're gonna go back, switch a different character, and play it again. See, I loved the game, so I bought every add-on for Borderlands 1 and 2. So for 2, I finished all 4 main characters, and then I got the Psycho and the little Asian girl, the schoolgirl that summons that robot, and I loved every single bit of it. It was probably the best money I've ever
Well,
spent.
let's tear it down. Sniper, what do you think was the most appealing aspects of the game when you heard about Destiny?
well, I knew Bungie made it, and I knew it had a reputation for a sci-fi game, so there was no doubt that it was going to be a sci-fi game. And I didn't know too much about it, but knowing that it's from Bungie, I kind of related it to Halo, because that's where Bungie's like attached to. Like you have, Treyarch,
Yeah.
which is attached to Call of Duty, and so when I heard, Bungie and Destiny, I was kind of like, oh, it's gonna be like a new Halo series, maybe. Maybe it'll be good.
Aren't they making a Halo 5 though?
Are they?
They're continuing
No,
on the
not
Halo
Bungie.
series. Yeah.
Not Bungie.
Well, not Bungie isn't now.
Yeah, here's the
Someone
thing.
is.
Here's the thing about the Halo Bowl. There was a lot of politics involved. First off, Halo was originally an RTS, and they wanted to release it in 1998, but then StarCraft released, and they were looking at the storyline in Halo, and they were looking at the storyline in StarCraft, and they were like, "Oh my God, if we release this now, we're just going to be known as the
You're gonna get
copycats."
sued. Yeah.
So then they were playing with, hey, let's introduce the gaming industry to Mac. So they make a Mac-based game called Halo Combat Evolved, and they're like, oh man, Mac, look at this. You could really take off with this. You could make consoles. You could get into the gaming industry. And Mac was like jerking them around until Microsoft goes, hey, we're going to get into the console field. Why don't you be our flagship title? And Bungie was like, okay. And that was it. The problem with Bungie, though, is that Bungie kept on wanting to go off in a direction that Microsoft couldn't allow them to. And
Yeah.
Bungie does have to respect that Microsoft had that as their flagship title of the original Xbox. Halo was what started the Xbox's success. So, of course,
Honestly,
Microsoft's
yeah.
going to be concerned about the story. But I'm really excited about Destiny because I think Halo was their test platform for what they really wanted to do, which was Destiny. Because, like I said, Halo was originally supposed to be an RTS. It being an FPS was almost an afterthought. And if you actually look at the Halo game, as pretty as it is, you can kind of see that it was a really simple game to make, too. So it was really fast to produce. But I think they've always wanted to make more of a marathon-type FPS, and I think Destiny fits that scope.
One thing that made me really want to get Destiny when I first watched the trailer for it is that it looked like Halo, it kind of shot like Halo, like Call of Duty mix, but it gives you the Borderlands feature of being able to play a story mode with your friend. And all I ever look for a game is to have co-op ability to play with friends.
And their matchmaking process is similar to Left 4 Dead 2's. I don't know if you researched that, where if, let's say, Dan and I are playing the game, right, and then you come home and you're like, oh, I want to join you guys, you could just join.
You just join right in, yeah.
Just join right in. It's very seamless, and then you could just get right into gear, right into fighting. They can introduce leveling systems and loot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like the Borderlands 2, how if you're, like, say I'm level 15 and Dan just starting off at level 1, I can come back and help him, but it might screw up his XP, but I could still come up and help him and crap like that. Yeah, you can have like different characters at different levels and help other characters stuff.
And now, Sniper, what are things that you're apprehensive about with the game?
It's a sci-fi game.
This kid doesn't like
I totally agree. No, I actually agree with him. The problem with sci-fi games is that sometimes
they get out of hand.
Try to introduce new sci-fi game mechanics, and it ends up being terrible.
Keep it simple, stupid.
But I can kind of see that. And
So-
I think there's an oversaturation of sci-fi games nowadays.
Yeah. Which one was it? Halo Wars? There was a Halo that fell to the ground, like...
Halo Wars is the worst
Yeah.
thing I've seen in my life.
Yes.
Jordan, or Liberty, loves that game. I do not know why. He put so many hours in that game.
What was interesting about it is that freaking Bungie was like, I want to take Halo back to its original roots to show people what we really wanted to create. And they're like, yeah. And then Bungie goes, but I can't take time away from the Halo series and, you know, the next project that we're working on, which I assume is what Destiny ended up being.
Probably.
And so they were like, let's hire Obsidian to do it. And then Obsidian made the game. Now, I thought the game was very interesting. Did I think it was worth $60? I'm not so sure. If it was one of those really cool, like, oh, buy it on Xbox Market for $29 or $39. $40, yeah, I'd say I probably got good $40 of enjoyment out of it.
Nope. I'd spend max 20.
For Halo Wars?
Yeah, for Halo Wars. I
Uh,
don't know. I don't like the style it was. It was too arcadey from like looking from the back, but you're still controlling him, and I don't know. I like more of like a Command and Conquer type RTS.
Yeah.
Like of Agent Empires type thing, not
Civilization
more of
5.
a
Best
yeah,
RTS.
Civ
You
5.
weren't looking for a Warcraft / troop replacement
Yeah.
ripoff. I almost felt like Halo Wars was like World in Conflict. I don't know if you guys play that game, but it's an amazing game about how the Russians invade Seattle, because that was actually a real threat in the 80s. And they invade America through Seattle, and it's a troop deployment RTS game, but it's a really, really good game.
Like Red Command and Conquer. Like
Yeah.
that game. That's Russians.
Well, Command and Conquer did freaking terrible with
bad.
their... You know, Command and Conquer 4, they tried to simulate the same experience, and it was just a flaming pile of Duke.
It's all about that Empire at War.
I am excited for Destiny. Do I want to participate in the beta? No, because Dan, although I did play the devil's advocate and defend Bungie, because I do understand why they're doing it, especially since this is their first project on their own. They need all the money they can get. They don't want to pull a Microsoft and underfund a game and then have it fall flat on its face. So,
how much did they get? Like, how many percentage of the money did they get from the Halo games? Like, I know Microsoft probably got most of it, but I'm saying they probably got.
Oh no, yeah, just the fact that they did Halo, based on my schooling, and I'm no expert, but based on the classes that I did take on game marketing, I would say that Bungie probably gets 10%, if not 15, if not more than that, if they negotiate a really good deal with Microsoft. Microsoft is pretty generous to its satellite companies, which is why they become devoted to them.
It's a freaking vampire for money. It'll suck anything you can out of you.
You know, I do agree with that, but at the same time, I look at, yeah, they've got money, yeah, I'm pumping money into it, but I live in a capitalist country, and more oftentimes than not, the companies that I pump the most money into are the companies that are going to make me happier. For example, Nintendo. People go, oh, the Wii was so cheap. I have spent more money on the Wii than any other console in existence, because I've had to buy controllers multiple times. I've had to buy multiple discs because the disc break. My Wii cord died, so I had to buy a power brick. But I love the Wii so much, I still willingly spent all that money. To me, Nintendo is more of a money Nazi than Microsoft.
The Wii is a good console. I mean, it's good for kids like that want to start like out, like just doing something simple. Like for me, I'd probably logged at least 200 hours easily in Mario Kart. I'm not even joking. That game is my ish. Like I even have it right here.
I think I put almost 200 in Mario Kart.
It is right here. Mario Kart, best game ever. And then, even after that, I'm like, all right, well now I'm done with Wii. I don't play as games anymore. I'm playing either the Xbox or on my computer. I still had it for Netflix because I didn't have an Xbox in my room, but now I do. Because, well, I was playing. I was just watching Netflix, and one day I'm trying to turn on my sensor so I can get to Netflix, and it just wouldn't work. I put new batteries in it that I just bought for I seriously went down the store and bought batteries just for a stupid sensor, and it didn't work. So now I had to bring up an Xbox to my room. I just never play the Wii anymore.
Well, let's just look at it this way. At least your Wii doesn't crash as much as your PC does. So it's got one up on it there.
Ooh, yeah,
the thing I'm really excited about Destiny has convinced me I want to buy an Xbox One, and I'll tell you why. I think I will enjoy it. I think see, I can't do the PS4 because
I can't.
I have bad experience with Sony's customer service. They have cost me a lot of money in the past.
And they're gay.
And they don't really care about their customers. They also piss the developers off. Why do you think 3/4 of the developers went from Sony exclusives to being on Microsoft's console all of a sudden? It's not because Microsoft was like, hey, come over here. It's because they're like, what? It costs so much money for them to make a game for the PS4, and then the PS4 doesn't really market their stuff very well. They don't have as big of an audience.
I think The only thing Sony did right for making it like their only exclusive PS3, PS4 game, or actually only PS3, was standalone. Yeah, no, not standalone. What the fuck was it? Shit, I just forgot. The one with like the old guy, and it's like a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, Last of Us. In fact,
Last
The
of
Last
Us.
of Us.
Oh, that's a
Last
good
of
series.
Us was such a good game.
That was
Okay,
so good.
there are games that come out that I will buy a console for. For example, Mario Kart 8, Super Smash Brothers, the new Zelda game that's coming out. It looks amazing. It's a
That's so
free roam
good.
game. I would buy a Wii U for that. As far as, Xboxes go, I'm buying the Xbox One because of Destiny and Halo Collection. Because
Okay,
they're
well, you
bringing
can-
back all the Halo 2 maps and
You
everything.
can get
And I'm
both
like,
of those also on an Xbox 360. That's what I'm thinking. I might get Destiny for my Xbox 360, and then me and Sniper can play freaking Black Ops 2 together, Borderlands 2
yeah,
together.
keep investing in your 360, and here's what's going to happen.
They're
Let's
not
say
gonna make the games
let's
anymore for
let
it.
no, it's
That's
not only
exactly
that.
what's gonna
Let's
happen.
say you love the Halo collection with the Halo 4 graphics. Let's say you love Destiny, and you're like, I will play this game for hundreds of hours. And then all of a sudden, as the 360 is getting phased out, they go, no more 360 multiplayer. And now
Oh
you
yeah, they
invested
did
all
that
this
with the
money on.
Xbox.
Now you invested all this money in these brand new games, and you only really got a couple of years of playability out of them because.
Now
So-
here's the joke on you. I don't even have Xbox Live. I play on my dad's account because I don't feel like paying $60 anymore. Because Microsoft took away the family pack, so now in order for my entire family to play, we have to each pay $60 to have Xbox Live for a year. So I'm saying screw that. I'm just gonna play on my dad's account because he doesn't play online other than like Rainbow Six Vegas. Like that's what he seriously played that nonstop every night when he had to work or something because he always had the night shifts. So during the day he's playing that, and during the night he's working, and that's all he ever did. And then he started playing the Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls series, and my dad would just sit there days on end playing that, and so now he doesn't even play online anymore. So screw that.
The thing about the whole console wars, anyway, is that there are going to be people who enjoy consoles for different reasons. So there's always going to be people who think consoles are better. I personally think PC's the best, but that's because I feel like I have more control over it. I want to upgrade it, I go and upgrade it. It breaks, I repair it. I don't have to go call warranty service. I don't have to get drug around through bad customer service. I can just get it taken care of.
It's even better because you're a computer guy, so you know how to deal with that shit. I'm not.
Yeah,
I
that's
do not know one damn thing about my computer. For Xbox, fuck that. I'm sending it in. I don't care how much money I have to spend. I can just send it and have some other dude do it for me. If my
So-
computer breaks down, I'm just gonna call my friend and be like, "Yo, fix my computer."
Yeah.
And, like, I'll see.
But I am excited for Destiny. I think it's going to bring a lot of good ideas. And you know what? If they do decide to make a sequel, I think the sequel will be fantastic. I feel the reason why Halo 3 and Halo 4 were or Halo 3 especially was just meh. I think it's because Bungie knew this was their last game. So the passion wasn't there because Halo 2 was just amazing.
It was so long after like for Halo 4, when it was Halo 3, after Master Chief dies, quotations, it was just like everyone was like, what the hell just happened? My favorite character in my favorite game series just kind of died off. And then later on Halo 4, he comes back and he's still alive in the Kaito chamber, whatever the hell you pronounce it like. And it's kind of just like, it doesn't feel right. I mean,
I can see that because it seemed like it was the end of the generation, especially
Yeah.
since that was Bungie's Master Chief. But I will say I think what I like the most about those kinds of storylines is because of the fact that there's other Spartans that they could focus on, and I really like how they started to bring that in on the Halo
Reach
4.
was probably my favorite Halo.
Reach, yeah.
All of it.
But there were other teams. I mean, the Spartans didn't just become extinct. The whole Halo storyline was about one particular Spartan who gets pulled off of a dying planet and goes on a crazy-ass adventure until he gets back to Earth. It doesn't mean that he's the only Spartan. So even if they killed Master Chief, there's still cool characters out there.
No, actually, all the Spartans died off after Reach. All of them died, but then...
Well, no, his class did, but there were still Oni Spartans, too.
Oh, really? I thought... Because I remember saying... remember hearing in like Halo 3 or some shit like that, that Master Chief was the only Spartan that was still eligible for duty.
What happened was that Reach cost so much money because the Spartans back then were expensive that they were like, well, we need to abandon the Spartan project because that failed miserably. And then they made a new Spartan project where they were making quote-unquote minor Spartans, which are the Spartans that you run into with Halo 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Destiny, I think, is going to be great. I love how it's got the whole Borderlands mechanic to it.
You know what's going to be bad? The Borderlands 3. It's like a prequel to Borderlands 1. I think that's going to be probably the worst game ever.
I kind of wish they'd go to other planets and stuff.
Yeah. Like, or even after that, they can keep continuing with those characters and go hunting the rest of the vaults. Because at the end of Borderlands 2, after you get that key, it shows you where every single vault is on the entire planet. And you're just sitting there, but the key has to wait like 1,000 years or some shit like that for it to regen. But yeah, I think we were talking about this topic for a while now. We could probably switch something.
The other advantage of having the choosable classes is that Bungie, with their storytelling mechanic, like I think Borderlands has terrible storytelling, but I think Bungie could make really intriguing cutscenes that will make each character have a personality that you could relate to. Yeah. Like
you can actually get backstories in Borderlands 2, it just requires time and your own patience.
But
like
there's
you have to go around and like find it.
Your character's kind of like Gordon Freeman. He doesn't have a voice to contribute. It's the internal conflict kind of protagonist.
That always bugged me in games where like you're talking but you don't talk. Like in Mass Effect, like I think that was the first one where I don't know if it was Mass Effect or not, but you're like you choose like something to say and you don't have a voice.
That's Dragon Age. All the Mass Effect ones.
Yeah, Dragon Age. Oh my god. The game was good. The story, bad. Like, how they fought, I liked it. How you can switch between your party, I liked that. But the talking-wise, I didn't really like the graphics in the second one. I thought it was a little too cartoony. I don't know why, but I just didn't like that much.
But I am excited for Destiny. I think Destiny's going to bring a lot to the table. I think it's going to be... Yeah. I think just like Halo, it's going to be the game to revolutionize what we conceive to expect out of games like Borderlands.
I feel like if people still don't even like it, they're going to get it because, one, Call of Duty is great, FPS, and people who ever played the beta would know that it's like Call of Duty. Two, it's a Halo franchise. It's based off of Halo, basically. It's like the same exact people that Bungie. So people are going to buy that just because it's Bungie. And three, there's no sci-fi game out right now, or a good FPS for Xbox One, because Call of Duty Ghost is a piece of shit. That game's horrible.
Titanfall on the PC is great, but Titanfall on the Xbox.
On the Xbox, yeah. Actually, it's good if like it's fun if you're just gonna play it, but if you're trying to rank up like instantly and crap, it's kind of hard because I heard their servers keep going down and they keep having bugs and shit. And I don't know, but my friend I played it on the Xbox One. I thought I brought a new look to an FPS because you get the FPS, which is like you just get the Call of Duty shooting. You get a damn Titan that pulls out and just fucks shit up until someone else fucks you up. And then you also get the parkour look, which means anywhere on the map is eligible for you to go. You can't just, I'm going to hop in this bus on Nuketown and wait for some cracker to come up and throw a claymore at me. No. No, you can actually run on walls, hop off, and jump on a frickin' rope that's connected between buildings and slide down it and kill people. I think that's a great aspect in the game. Everything that Titanfall did was good, other than they needed to put more times in their servers and money. That's what I think.
Right, and that's why I liked how Titanfall for the PC came out later, because they were able to refine it a little bit.
That's why I always wait for computer games. I like how they wait and develop it better off, because everyone says it takes longer for them to do it just because, better graphics, they need to change it. Like, no, they're perfecting every little thing
Well, actually, it is true that it's because it takes longer, and it's because
for the graphic. Yeah,
this
but then also they're also
they,
adding a bunch of the
but
other
they
things
have
that
to
they figured
completely
out.
recode parts of it because the thing is the little
Yeah.
tiny CPUs and consoles are very simple machines. They can't do much, so the code has to be
Yeah.
really simplistic. To put it on a PC, they have to worry about not everybody's computer is the same. So when you get an Xbox game, it's coded for one setting. When you get a PC game, they have to make different codings for all the settings. They have to worry about so
Yeah.
much more to a PC game. There's more bugs, more updating. Everybody's going to have issues with it. It relies on too many third-party programs like Flash and Java and all this other stuff. And
That bugs me.
pretty soon, the entire code structure has changed. So I do agree with you that they are perfecting it, but the reason why it
Yeah.
takes so long is because of
Yeah, because of all the
recoding.
other programs they had to go through and all of the little details in the computer, which
But-
why it makes it better in the long run.
But and like you said, that's why I'm also excited about Destiny because yes, I'll probably get it on the Xbox so I could play with my Xbox friends, but I'll probably also get it on the PC because every Halo game that has hit the PC has been better than the Halo game on the console.
Oh,
Halo 1 with the rocket warthog is just amazing. The maps on it
Yeah.
are cool. Halo 2 has that really easy to use map generator and you can make
And
some really
they
cool
were the
stuff.
first people to start the dual wielding. They were the first people to start. Hey, let's have one gun in each hand. You know, fuck it, America, and do it.
America.
Actually, the first people to start dual wielding was the Unreal franchise.
Oh, that's true.
Unreal and Quake.
Unreal and Quake, those are good.
Yeah, Unreal in 2003 released Unreal Tournament 2003, which was more of a
Unreal
sample
Tournament
for Unreal
was-
Tournament 2004. But they had Bombing Run, which is one of the most fun games ever. It's basically Carnage football. But some of the guns that you could dual wield the Insta-Gib guns and get a bunch of attachments and stuff like that in certain game
Right.
modes, and it's really fun. And then in the later ones, they expanded on that.
Mm-hmm.
In Quake, you can get one submachine gun, and then if you keep running, you can pick up the second one. There was dual wielding in GoldenEye, and that was back in 1997. I used to run around with two RCP-90s and just be like, ah! Or no, that was... Oh, I'm thinking of the Source update, aren't I?
Probably.
Mm,
Yeah, I am. I'm not thinking of the original. Wow, I got those swapped out.
so, James, you know Java, right?
Right.
That's amazing. I'll have to talk to you later after this. Anyways,
I
So-
will tell you I hate it.
so Xbox 360, right? You were just talking about that, but we didn't talk about the PS3, and we also didn't talk about how long do you think the Xbox 360 servers are gonna last?
This next generation, or
Yeah,
for the first model? I actually think the first model is going to get improved on quite a bit.
the
because
360.
Yeah, because here's the thing. They know they still have fans apprehensive about the Xbox One, and they don't want the fans to feel pressured. Like everybody threw fit when Windows XP got terminated this summer, which I think is ridiculous because the program is 13 freaking years old.
Wow.
It is time to put the operating system to rest. Technology has progressed so much that some of the newer technologies don't even work on this stupid thing.
Windows 9. I'm gonna get that.
Yeah, so Windows 9. Did you hear about that coming out?
Yeah, and here's why I don't mind it. It's kind of like, Windows 3.1 and Windows 3 way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
The whole model of what they want to do with Windows 8. I got Windows 8 for $40, the Pro version, because I had Windows 7. When Windows 8 first came out, they were like, you could buy it for $40. Here you go. So I did.
Wow.
When Windows 8.1 came out, all of those updates are free. Yeah, they had their bugs. But when Windows 9 comes out, they're going to do the same kind of thing where they offer people who have Windows 8 a really huge discount for upgrading. And at that point, I'll be like, yeah, sure. But I also look at it in a different light than most people. I'm a computer tech. So I have to test the new operating system.
Yeah, you
so
have to. Otherwise,
I
you're
won't know
gonna
how to
go-
fix it.
you're
They'll be like, my Windows
"Eh,
9 computer broke. And I was like, well, that sucks because I have Windows 8.
That's
Like,
none
well,
of my
that sucks.
business.
I have the original Windows.
Guess I'm out of a damn job.
My my Windows 9 won't work, but that's none of my business.
Sorry, I don't use Windows.
But I think I
free
look at
person.
the E3 release. Nintendo is always very strategic about their releases. They know what will win the crowd, and they're very careful with their planning. I can almost always expect a consistently good Nintendo E3. Microsoft played it a little cautious, and they got a lot of criticism about it, but I like how they're being cautious, because part of the problem with the 360 is they went balls to the wall and was just like, look at all the shit you could buy, blah, blah, blah. And then nothing worked because it wasn't thought through, it wasn't planned, they weren't careful with their developers. I remember when the 360 first came out, half the games you bought for it were garbage. It was like, oh, this game's crap. Like, they didn't have a whole lot of staples that were made. But they're being smarter with this one. They're being cautious. But I was disappointed with the PS4's E3. I'm kind of excited for the PS4. I want to get The Last of Us revisited and redone. Yeah, remastered. And then they just released Tomb Raider, which I love that version of Lara Croft way more than the old ones. They're remastering that too. That's enough reason to buy a PS4 for me. But when I saw the E3, I didn't get excited. I was like...
Yeah. We lost Jimmy.
Oh, no.
Not again. So... So is it still worth buying an Xbox 360 in your opinion? Because here's how I look at it, right? You have the Xbox One, the new generation console that's supposed to be like the best of the best. And to me, it seems like it wasn't as successful as the 360 when the 360 came out. Now,
Agreed.
knowing Microsoft, they're going to make more than one version of the Xbox One and hopefully improve it. But a lot of stuff with the Xbox One, dude, was just, it wasn't, I didn't like it.
Yeah, no, I can see that. And yeah, there's still a market for Xbox 360s. In fact, you should check out GameStop. They have PS3, 360, and Wii bundles. You can go to GameStop, get a refurbished Xbox 360 with 2 controllers, with 2 headsets, and a bunch of accessories, and like 3 or 4 games for $128.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, 360, go buy 360 games. Go get one for cheap, and there you go.
Ooh.
They're going to be coming out with stuff for it. Still cool.
So, yeah, I mean, they're still coming out with stuff, right? But, again, it's taking a step back. But you still have, like, these older Call of Duties, like, you know, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, Call of Duty 4. Some games that not a lot of people might play on the computer. More people play it on console, right? And I still know a lot of people that play on the 360. And with the Xbox One and PS4, because I have the PS4, there's just a lot of... it needs a lot of improvements for games and such. Like, when I got the PS4 when it just came out, I think the only games for it were like NBA, Madden, COD Ghost, FIFA.
That's actually, they're having a hard time landing developers right now. Sony is. Not because Sony's not a good company. I actually love my PlayStation. I just hate the corporation itself. I love their products. My problem with, or what I think a lot of the developers are doing and why they're taking it easy, is because when the PS3 was supposed to release, the first thing they tell us is that it's going to cost $900, and it's going to be all this really high-tech, super powerful console, and it was silver. And then all of a sudden, the Xbox 360 released a year early. By the way, Microsoft was able to cut costs by not putting hard drives with it, but they were able to release a year early, and we was like, oh, Xbox released, well, we're ready to release, so yeah, let's release too. PS3 had to release way earlier than anticipated, so the console that came out was not the console promised to us. If you remember all those first few games that came out for the PS3, they had performance issues. They lag, it didn't do multiplayer very well. But I think the PS4, they're being a little more cautious with it. They're making sure that everything is working.
Yeah.
And I think they're desperately trying to reclaim their developers, because Square Enix has been allowing some of the games to be made on Xbox. Now Metal Gear Solid's starting to get made on the Xbox. They're losing a lot of their prime exclusives that held the customers to them.
Too bad Metal Gear Solid's going out of business, because that guy's 7,000 years old now.
It's not only that.
How old is Snake?
Did you know they were making a Metal Gear Solid movie?
No.
They were making a Metal Gear Solid movie, and in fact, they raffled off one of the props, and they made a big deal out of it, and then all of a sudden, no one's heard anything. It's just disappeared.
like the Star Wars movie. It keeps hearing stuff, then it disappears, then it comes back.
Well, that's because Disney is being very careful with its production, and I'm very glad they hired J.J. Abrams to direct it because I like the new Star Trek movies. I know I'm
Yeah,
a
so
minority.
he's the one who directed Star Trek. So J.J. Abrams, trying to think. I saw one Star Trek and I was not impressed with it. There was one on Netflix. So Netflix.com/Woody. um, but yeah, so I don't know. I just never got into
I
Star
think the
Trek.
reason why I like the Star Trek movies so much is because I play Star Trek Online. It's my favorite MMO, and the storylines are the storylines are parallel to one another. In the Star Trek Online game, you're the original universe where the planet Romulan gets destroyed, and Spock goes into the portal to the other universe. But what's really interesting is as you play through the game, the Klingon Federation War starts up again, the Borg try to take advantage of the weaknesses, and here you are trying to keep the galaxy united, and the universes are blending a little bit. Like sometimes the other universes are starting to come in on some of the missions. And it's a really interesting way to portray the game, because then when you watch the movies, you have the respect of knowing this is a completely different universe, and it's being torn apart because of what's happening in Star Trek Online.
Huh.
But the downfall is if you don't play Star Trek Online, you miss like a lot of the value of it.
Yeah. I never played that game, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, Star Trek, everybody. Super nerd over here. Beam me aboard, Scotty.
So, what was your first video game, Dan?
First video game. Ooh.
Oh my god, I'm gonna outdate myself on this one.
Your first video game
Oh.
was the ping pong thing on
You know.
on Nintendo.
Yeah. Do you call it No, I don't know. I'm thinking. It was old. It was like the GameCube, like Super Smash Brothers, and that general era.
Oh man, that's so old.
I know, bro. I mean, we don't have the
That's my favorite. I was
the
20.
Sega Genesis or whatever you had. You know.
Nah, Sega Genesis, you're funny. My first games, there were two of them. One of them was Rampage. The other one was Gauntlet 2 on the regular Nintendo 2 years after its release. And Rampage is this game where you're either a gorilla or a lizard, and you walk around and you beat on each other, and you're trying to like knock all the buildings down. You can work together, or you could beat.
That game was my favorite. You're like Godzilla type things.
Right.
You could be like
you can eat
King
people,
Kong.
but if you eat their toilets, you puke. You're like, bleh.
Yeah, that game
But,
was
like,
legit.
Gauntlet 2, I mean, that's just a staple in the game legends that everybody should play. Red Warrior needs food badly. Win it. I mean, everybody has heard that phrase. And it's like, the games were just beautiful back then. Everything was new. That's what I loved about it. Everything was new and unique. Now when I play, I feel like, oh, it's this idea over again, and I'm paying $60 for it.
Okay, but tell me, have you ever played a game like Arma 2?
Yeah.
What game?
Arma 2.
Arma 1.
2.
No, I mean, I'm talking about, have you ever played a good game like the Arma 2? Like, the realistic war
Yes.
simulating?
Red
What game?
Orchestra. Darkest
Yep,
Hour.
I love Red Orchestra. I love all the Red Orchestras. And I love the fact that you can get shot with the pistol in the chest and die, because that's what freaking happens. And
Yeah.
I love how it takes 5 people to operate a tank properly. And I also love the fact that if you're walking alongside the tank with the pistol and the driver looks to his left and you see the vent open, you could shoot his face. And the driver's dead. Tank's disabled. That's
Wait,
it.
how much is this game? This game sounds a lot better than Arma.
It is good. Let me look it up for you.
Do you rage?
There's Red Orchestra
rage?
1 and 2.
Do I rage? Kid, you heard me.
You
And
will
I-
rage.
Okay, you will rage at this game because you'll be like, all right, let's go, everybody, cha! And the
All right.
moment you get to the top of the hill, a machine gun rips your entire squad apart.
Red Orchestra 1 and 2 are both $10 on Steam. I
Here,
only
Like,
that's
that's
have
only,
Vanguard
like for like
is my
each
favorite.
one.
yeah, each one are $10 each.
Oh.
I've played them both.
Which one's better?
I like Heroes of Stalingrad better, but that's Red
Yeah, it's
Orchestra
the
2.
second one. Yeah.
I like number 2.
You know, second one was good. The first one, there was this mod called Darkest Hour, and let me see real quick if I can even. The mod Darkest Hour was like an add-on to it, and it made it a lot better in my opinion. The first
Okay,
one.
let's talk about that.
So
Which one is
the Steam
better?
score has a higher rating on Red Orchestra 1 than Red Orchestra 2.
Yeah,
Red,
I can see that because I think what was terrible about Red Orchestra 2 was its
Red
map designs.
ORC.
I put red or and it came up Dishonored.
Red space ORC.
Orc. Orchestrated. 41, 45.
Yeah, that's the first one. 1941, 1945. It's
Is
like
that?
the World
Oh
War.
shit! This is like World War One.
It's World War 2.
World War II, yeah.
Nazis versus the
I'm not
Russians.
I'm not good at math.
Yeah.
It's got like it's got 2 hash marks, and he's like, "That's obviously 1 hash mark. That's not a couple. That's 1 man." But he's got a woman with him. Oh, sorry, I'm not good with numbers. What?
Is this compatible with Windows 8?
Yeah, I play it on Windows 8, and I have no problem.
I'm not sure about the first one.
The first Windows 8 can play everything in compatibility mode. In fact, I play the original Fallout on this game, and I didn't have to change any of the settings.
So yeah, you could do it.
But you can't play Fallout 3. Fallout 3 won't allow Jordan. It always crashes on him.
I play Fallout 3 all the time. In fact, I've got a heavily modded realistic Fallout 3.
Well, nigga, damn. I'm gonna have to talk to Jordan then.
He probably does he mod his because he could have twerked
Yeah,
the files.
he tried
No,
modding
he
it once
modded his
and his
New
game
Vegas.
crashed.
He modded. No, oh yeah. It is his Fallout 3 that's modded. He has some realistic files on there, and it crashes like a lot, like 3 times a stream.
Right, yeah. He's got the mods conflicting with one another.
Probably.
And what sucks is you can't uninstall the game and just reinstall it. You have to go in the registry and purge all the Fallout files and then reinstall it because the mods leave trace files in there.
Yeah.
So,
But
11 friends own this game. How many friends own this game?
But Heroes of Stalingrad, what I love about it is snipers. It only allows 2 per big map.
Yeah, same thing on the first one too.
Machine guns. It only allows 2 per big map because a machine gun will pin 20 people and keep them pinned. You hit
a turret, like a
bipod machine gun that sits in the window. It's World War II. You get shot with an MG32. Those freaking rounds are, more than 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
And
which
if you
one
get-
should I buy?
You're dead.
If you get shot in the hand,
Or
you
not,
just
either
drop
way.
the gun. Once again, dude.
You bleed out too.
Huh?
You have to like bandage yourself and shit. Like
Yep. If you get shot in the leg with a pistol, because your major artery's down there, you could bleed out really quickly. So you almost have to run and bandage
so
yourself.
they even apply like arteries and shit. That's
Yeah.
legit.
And
This
what's
game
really cool
sounds
about
so
it is
good.
just because you bandage your wound doesn't mean you're not going to die. If you get shot in the leg and you get shot in the artery if it's a mortal wound, sorry, we can't save you. You're going to bleed out. You could still fight until you bleed out, but you will eventually die.
You're a pep.
So yeah, it's
And
a
it's
good
third
game, dude.
person, right?
It's
First
and
third. I think it's
The
first and
third
third.
is
I'm not
actually
sure.
the third is actually pretty decent until you're in one of those European
Like a
buildings
battle?
that have no space, so the
Oh.
camera's clipping through the wall.
Okay. This
Now
game looks
I
pretty
also
good.
love grenades because grenades
Yes.
Could I run that?
first off
Okay,
when they
here's another
blow somebody
question.
up, sometimes the person just turns into a mist of blood. It's just
Lol.
Yeah.
Alright,
that's
so
what
here's a
happens in real
question.
life. Yeah.
Could I run this game on high?
Probably.
Probably, but you might need to turn your
won't.
viewing distance down because it does
I
have
won't.
realistic 10-mile viewing distance.
I'm running this game on medium. I never run anything on high, just so I can get good gameplay on it.
So yeah, I mean you probably could.
So which
but-
one should I buy?
Like
sounds
I
like
said,
a
dude, I like the first one. The first one has a higher rating, but also know that it's an older game.
It doesn't even
Um,
say that you have this, James.
Yeah,
Do you
I've
have
got
a disc?
I've got it in Steam.
It says only 3 friends own this game.
The first one?
Yeah.
Oh no, I've got the first one on a disc. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. So which
But
one do you recommend?
I play number 2 because there's more people.
Yeah,
That's
there's
the
more
main
people
reason.
number 2, but
And I
like number
think
1
if you
more.
buy
So.
Red Orchestra 2, you also get access to the Rising Storm
Okay, yeah. So
multiplayer.
the Game of Edition. This is a Game of the Year edition, which means you probably get more shit when you
Right.
buy it, right?
Yeah, you
Oh
get the
no, the
expansions and
deluxe
stuff.
edition. No, that cost $20 for the deluxe. It's just $10 for the game.
But you will love it. I
Yeah,
love how
this looks legit. Like I'm
I love
watching
the
a video.
sound of it. The sound of it is insane because if somebody's upstairs and they
Oh,
unload their
I'm
clip
buying this.
and get their pistol, you'll hear them drop the clip on the floor. And the way that the sound mechanics work in the game, it's almost like you can pinpoint exactly where they are in the room.
It
And when
cost
you're
me $3 once I got money from my Steam wallet.
nice, when you're creeping upstairs towards an enemy, the stairs. It doesn't matter if you're crouched or anything. The stairs will creak based on how slow you're moving.
That's
They'll
that's
be
so
like,
good.
they'll be like,
What the fuck? I just got 3 new items in my inventory.
For buying it?
Okay. What? Watch my computer fucking crash.
We've
Yeah, I just
seen
bought
it
the
several
second one.
times.
Do I just sit there like my camera just like freezes like?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
kind of looked like you were grinning at us pervertedly the last time your
Like-
computer crashed. You were just, you were staring at the camera like, hey, and then it froze, and you're just like,
I was turning back to go talk, and I was like,
that was it. That's. You kind of remind me of what Conan O'Brien would have looked like as a child.
I'm Conan O'Brien. I have penis.
You're like, one day my
Let's
hair
see.
will look like a
I got
crazy weed.
guest pass, and a guest pass. Do you have to pay for online?
No, you can give the guest passes to your friends so that they could play with you to see if they like
for
the
3
game.
days. Oh, that's pretty cool. Why didn't I get one, Dan? Why couldn't you send me it?
'Cause I only have the first one right now, but
Oh, you don't have the second one? You should
no.
get it. I'll send you it, Dan. I'll send you the free pass.
Alright, dude, if you send it, I'll play it for sure, dude. I love the
send you
first
all
one,
three.
and I tried the
That's
second one. It was free. What?
I'll send one to Jordan too.
Send one to
Send,
Snoopzilla. Send it to the Snoopzilla.
Snoop Cracker.
Yeah.
What's your email? Oh, send directly through. Oh, there we go.
Mhm.
Pep. Snoopy. I'm gonna send one to Jordan and one to Snoopzilla next. Recipient's first name. Oh no.
We just have to tell those guys you
Danny
will
Boy.
rage.
Yeah.
There's no. If you and your squad are doing so good, and then just out of nowhere it's like, and you
I
mowed down.
love just dying. I don't know why. I just love it. For my signature, I put Pep. Just to let you know.
Well, thank you,
Mine-
Jimmy.
Alright, I sent one to you. Let me send another one to Jordan.
So we're gonna install it and play it all night then? Is that what we're gonna do?
If I get this shit installed, I'll play it.
Yeah.
If I get this shit installed.
Alright, so, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, right? Is this going to be the end of Call of Duty? Or is this going to revive Call of Duty?
I think Call of Duty is at the point where they're like, we have to change, and not only do they have to change, but they have to make it feel like Call of Duty. I think what they should do is they should completely go in another direction. Call of Duty 3 was not very popular. I liked it. I liked it a lot, but other people didn't. But Call of Duty 2 and Call of Duty 1, when they were the World War II games, they were extremely popular, and they were kind of like cult classics. People still play Call of Duty 1. It would be interesting to see them go back to that style of game instead of the
Do I have to install
loadout
the?
nonsense.
Do I have to install the single player to install the
Hey, check this out, James.
multiplayer?
I thought the installs were separate.
Yeah, they are, but should I? I'm not gonna install the single player. I don't think I want
Nice,
single player.
yes.
I have the
It
first
really-
one too. This
I
is
love the
game of
first one.
year right
We
here.
play Operation Arrowhead.
What is this?
Whoops.
Arma?
We play the extended. Oh, nice. I love the vehicle maps in that game. There's one in Russia that's just huge. You know, I like that game, but I was a Battlefield 2142 guy.
Yeah.
So this game's gonna take me a long time because it's 9.6 gigabytes. You guys know my uploading speed.
Bad Company too.
Yeah, Bad Company 2 is awesome. I've got Vietnam.
I had like all the Medal of Honors at one point.
Medal of Honor's okay.
You know,
so I
I don't-
bought Medal of Honor through the Humble Bundle, and when I went to go, I downloaded it, and I went to go play it, and it asked me for the CD key, so I put it back in, and it never worked. So I'm like, okay, this game was fun on my Xbox, but now I can't even play it on my computer.
So, I really enjoy the Medal of Honor single player. The multiplayer, not so much.
I think the problem is a lot of these guys started off as World War II FPSs, and there really aren't very many World War II games out anymore, and I'd like to see a couple more of them come out. Not oversaturated like it was, but World at War was a lot of fun.
It was.
Yeah, well,
I still have it, actually.
Yeah, I do too. I freaking love that game.
Start
I
of
still go on the
Zombies.
360 and play it. The
the
vehicles.
start
The
of
moment they
Zombies,
took the
man.
freaking vehicles out of Call of Duty, I was like, this is shit.
There was vehicles in Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, Call of Duty World at War, you can get tanks and stuff like that. But once Modern Warfare came out, which I call Modern Warfare because the thing that made me rage and stop playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare was the fact that the helicopters could fly over you, and even if you're in a cement bunker underground, they could still shoot you through the dirt and kill you. It was like, that's dumb.
Like, Pep, I'm gonna kill you.
So, last topic. The future cars, right? So, I was reading last night, and in like 20 years, I think it said, like, cars aren't going to have, like, steering wheels or pedals. How's that going to work, dude? I mean...
Well, I look at it this way. The #1 cause of American deaths is car accidents.
Is that
I
really?
drive-
Is
Yeah,
that...
Mhm.
that's a fact. More people will die in car
That
accidents
and-
than any other
or
death.
drunk driving mostly.
Yep.
Or just teenagers.
Well, and, you know, I mean, you think about the drunk driver who hits a minivan full of kids and, you know, they all die. But there's always a deadly car accident in your state every day. That's just the statistics of it.
Mhm.
But the problem is that the car accidents are caused by speeding, negligence, not paying attention, driving drunk. What if DUIs weren't a fucking problem? What if, you know, now that weed's legal in Washington State, what if you could just go to the store and buy what you want, get in your car, and your car drives you home? You know, a lot of people
You gotta
go,
smoke weed
well-
at the same time.
a lot of people are like, exactly. You get a hot box in your car while you're going home. But a lot of people are like, well, you're trusting computer technologies with your life. And I'm like, yeah. And then when I go drive with my friends and they're drinking a beer while they're driving, I'm trusting my life with them. Now, would a computer get drunk and ram me into the wall? No. I don't think so. And it's going to happen at some point. Cars are gradually getting to that point. Now we've got cameras in the back. We've
So-
got cars that stop on their own if you get too close to somebody. It's already heading that direction.
Here's my counter argument. This one picture will say it all. If it's gonna show. Do the stanky leg with the car tire being an idiot.
Oh no.
Cars are idiots. We should just leave them like
The
that.
other day I was driving to work and my boss texts me and goes, James, I know you're the manager tonight, but we might have an issue with the money. The armored truck isn't here yet. And I was like, oh, god damn it. So I'm driving down the road and I look over to my right and I see our armored truck. I see our armored truck driver surrounded by cops and SWAT team guys. And as I pull closer, I realize the reason why is because some idiot old lady in her station wagon rear-ended the armored truck so bad that her car went under the armored truck.
No shit.
Oh, no way.
And the reason
Aren't
why they had to
supposed
call
have-
the reason why they called the SWAT team there is because there's thousands and thousands of dollars sitting in the middle of the road in this accident. And I'm sitting there thinking hardline, like, oh my god, she's
Battlefield
in on it.
Hardline is real.
Yeah. Well, and I'm like, well, here's all the cops, but where's all the thieves? And you know the thieves are back at the police station stealing the money out of the cops' armored truck. No, but I was amazed. I was like, wow. And then I was sitting there watching it because I was stuck in traffic. They pull her car out, and the armored truck just drives away. I mean, those things are built like tanks, so it wasn't even damaged. But her car got effed.
Wow.
It looked like a
We might
doorstop.
have a joiner. We might
Are
have
you
another
installing Red
guest.
Orchestra right now?
Yeah. It's has an hour and 30 minutes left.
I'm surprised your computer's not sparking and lighting on fire and
Like frickin' Gibbles. It's
oh
motherboard
my
exploded.
gosh, that
What?
sucks so bad. The chipset right underneath his CPU exploded.
Who?
Gibbles.
It was one of the guys
Oh, yeah, I think I heard about that.
So his new
Is it
CPU should be
6-bit?
in. His new CPU is coming in Wednesday or Thursday. He decided to get a really,
what
really
you guys said
nice
last week.
CPU.
What'd he get?
I don't remember exactly the model, but he wanted to make sure. What happened was he accidentally bought a different motherboard than he was supposed to. So he's like, well, shit, now I got to get his CPU. So he thought that since he spent so much money on the motherboard, that he should probably get a really decent $300-400 Intel.
Hello, Jordan.
Oh, you're watching the chat? Is that what you're doing? Watching?
Oh, no, I thought Jordan was gonna join us. I
Yeah,
sent him the link. He's like, send me the link to the channel. I'm like, what? Man, I sent him the link, and I guess
Well, I was just about to close, but if you guys have more topics, I'll go get me something to eat and come back.
Nah, I think we're good.
Are we good?
Mhm.
All right.
I think we should continue our current tidings in Daisy.
Yeah.
Now that we're outside below, to be like, what?
What? All right, sounds good.
Record again.
All right, well, thanks everyone for joining us on the second Sniper Show. Hope you all enjoyed. This is the law right here, and this is Goat Raper, if that's what you want to call.
That's right.
So if you see him on Daisy, make sure to.
Just hide your guts and head for the hills. I'm coming for the others.
All right,
Lars,
later.